when I look at people using boats, there's two things. One is safety. Can they do it safely? And secondly, can they do it without wrecking the boat?
I'm gonna do this. Is this a bad decision? Captain.
What happened? Apart from just the scheduling of Nautical Monkey, which means that you've got a schedule online that you can access and click and reserve boats for different periods. That's how you're actually working it. There's a lot of things built into it that allow the administrator to keep control over how it's getting used.
I noticed nobody's drinking water because they don't want to use the pump bathroom.
So true, not when I'm mic'd up.
Is that what's going on there?
Because you don't want somebody just monopolizing it. So you can add in restrictions there. You can add in things like a time where you can get a free shot at a sailing slot, for instance. 24 hours was a common thing before. I use 48 hours now, and I found that really works well. But that flexibility was built in so that I could play around with that and see if that would work. Wind Channel 101. We now have the main sheet up, so we get to one of my favorite parts of sailing here. The number of sailing slots and the timing of them is extremely flexible, and you can do a lot of things with that. It allowed me to home in. I thought I wanted to have 6 slots per day, and when I did that, it was I found out that was a bit difficult to work with, and so actually went back to or down to just 2 slots per day. I'd rather have something a bit newer, and it doesn't have to be brand new. I mean, this is a 2001. Okay, if you take care of it and don't text and sail, then you'll be fine. Whoops.
Wow.
Sorry about that.
No evidence of text.
What?
But I was able to do that. So you have things like. So what happens? Let's say you're using the scheduler, and you schedule Saturday, and then it's on the schedule, and you got it free because you're within the 48 hours. You booked it on Thursday night, okay? So you get that for free. They'll start getting more and more slack. Okay. There it goes. Let it out now. So, what about if Sunday, you want to get Sunday too, but you're not within that 48 hours, so you schedule it. So then, if you're really crafty, and I've had people do this, they'd go in and they would cancel that scheduled lesson and then schedule it within the 48 hours, so it was a free. If I was to let go of this without you having that in control, would be 2 sheets to the wind. And those old square riggers, if they had 3 sheets go to be loose, meaning to the wind, then they were in bad shape. That boat was just doing this kind of thing, and that's where, sort of like a drunken sailor, so that's where that came from. One. And so they were constantly getting free. So, we've got these mechanisms in there to restrict that and keep people. And the whole point is you do things like that, and you think, oh, people might get ticked off about that, but they don't. I just tell them this is the way it needs to be done to make sure it's equitable. The whole idea is to make access to the vessel equitable, and having a system that allows you some flexibility in how it's used and how it's controlled makes a huge difference. So,
That's great.
Yeah.
So you've got 5 different boats actively scheduling?
The member boats, which is the Utopia, the Beneteau 31, and this boat here, which is Texas Tack, and that's a 128. Those are full-time on the schedule. I invest a lot of time in training people to make sure that they're not going to wreck the boat. And by doing that, they become better sailors, and therefore it's better from a safety point of view. The people that are doing the monthly membership, they pay a flat monthly fee and they get to use the boats. And by the way, extra training, anything like that they need, I do that for free. Like one guy, he hadn't taken the boat out for almost a year, and I'd called him up a couple of times. Hey, you want to keep paying this money every month? You know, I said, oh yeah, we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. Anyway.
I thought you're so encouraging.
You have to give encouragement to the crew.
It's sort of back and forth, you know, beatings and then encouragement. The beatings are going to continue until morale improves.